Ambassador Hannah stood in the center of the vast Galactic Council chamber, feeling the weight of 1,000 alien eyes upon her. The room was carved from a single massive crystal, its walls shimmering with colors that didn't exist on Earth. Delegates from over 300 species filled the tiered seating that stretched up toward the distant ceiling. Most watched her with expressions ranging from pity to amusement. "The terms are acceptable," Hannah said, bowing slightly to the High Council members. Her simple gray uniform contrasted sharply with the elaborate attire of the other representatives. "Earth thanks the Council for this opportunity to join the galactic community." Councillor Drez, a tall being with blue-green skin and 4 waving tentacles where arms should be, made a bubbling sound that his translator converted to laughter. "The human speaks well for such a primitive species," he said to the chamber. "Perhaps in a few centuries, they might contribute something of value." Hannah maintained her diplomatic smile. The insult rolled off her like water. Let them think what they wanted. Earth had been preparing for this moment for over 50 years. "Earth will be given the outer sector near the Perseus arm," announced the council speaker, a tall insectoid being whose silver carapace glittered under the chamber lights. "The area contains minimal resources and 3 uninhabitable planets. We trust this will be sufficient for human expansion in the coming decades." Some of the delegates chittered with amusement. They were giving Earth the equivalent of a galactic wasteland. "Most generous," Hannah replied, not missing a beat. "Earth will make good use of this sector." The meeting concluded, and Hannah was escorted from the chamber by 2 tall guards with gray skin and 4 arms. They left her at her small quarters without a word. As soon as the door sealed, Hannah activated her secure communication device, disguised as a simple bracelet on her wrist. "Transmission complete?" she asked. "Received and analyzed," came the voice of Earth Command. "Well done, Ambassador. Return to the station for your next briefing." Far from the Council's central worlds, in the shadow of Jupiter, a massive space station hung silently. No Council detection systems could see it, wrapped as it was in field technology that bent light and other scanning methods around it. Inside the command center, Admiral Jun reviewed the Council's declaration on a floating screen. "Perfect," he said, his weathered face breaking into a smile. "They've given us exactly what we wanted." His second-in-command, Captain Tay, looked confused. "Sir, they've relegated us to the least valuable sector in Council space." "Exactly," Jun said. "A sector they never visit. A sector they don't monitor. A sector where we can build without prying eyes." He gestured to another screen showing a massive shipyard hidden in Jupiter's rings. Workers in spacesuits swarmed over the hull of a vessel larger than anything humans had publicly admitted to building. This was just one of 12 such shipyards scattered throughout the solar system. "The Council believes Earth only achieved faster-than-light travel 10 years ago," Jun said. "They don't know we've had it for over 70 years. They think we have 5 small ships. They don't know about the fleets." Captain Tai nodded slowly. "But why keep this secret, sir? Why not show our strength from the beginning?" Jun's expression darkened. "History, Captain." Earth studied the Council archives carefully. Every species that joined with advanced technology was seen as a threat. Their technology was stolen through sharing agreements, their military capabilities restricted, their colonies limited. He shook his head. "We won't make that mistake." He walked to another screen showing Earth's assigned sector. "This worthless space is perfect. We'll build our real colonies there, hidden from Council oversight. We'll mine the resources they don't know exist." On the command deck below, technicians monitored signals from Earth's deep space probes. One technician suddenly straightened in her chair. "Admiral, we're receiving emergency signals from the Proxima colony." Jun rushed to her station. The screen showed distress calls from 3 different systems simultaneously. All Council colonies in a sector bordering Council space, all calling for help against an unknown aggressor. "Analysis," Jun demanded. "Attack pattern consistent with the Thran, sir," the technician replied, her voice tight. the species the Council believes went extinct 2 centuries ago. Jum's face hardened. Earth's intelligence had warned this was coming. The Council had dismissed their reports. "Begin Operation Sentinel," he ordered. "Move the Third Fleet to observation positions near the affected sector. Do not engage, but record everything." Captain Tai looked concerned. "Shouldn't we warn the Council?" "Ambassador Hana will submit a formal report," Jum said grimly, "which they will ignore. The Council needs to learn the hard way that they should have listened to us." He turned back to the main screen, watching as signals from the attacked colonies went silent one by one. "They think we're primitive newcomers to be managed and controlled," Jum said quietly. "But humanity has been preparing for galactic threats for generations. When the Council's defenses fail, and they will, Earth will reveal its true strength." In her small quarters on the Council station, Ambassador Hana received the reports of the attacks. She composed her face into an expression of shocked concern before requesting an emergency meeting with the Council. They would dismiss her warnings. They always did. But soon, they wouldn't be able to ignore the threat. And when that day came, Earth would be ready to save them all, whether they wanted to be saved or not. Fleet Commander Suk floated in zero gravity. Her magnetic boots deactivated as she inspected the newly installed quantum cannon on the dreadnought Hambit. The massive weapon ran nearly half the length of the ship, hidden beneath layers of stealth plating that made it invisible to Council scanners. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Admiral Jun said, drifting up beside her. His silver-streaked hair floated around his weathered face. "The most powerful weapon humanity has ever built," Suk agreed. "And the Council has no idea it exists." 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council as a junior species. In that time, they had played their part perfectly. Earth had established 3 small colonies in their assigned sector, primitive outposts that Council inspectors visited yearly. The inspectors always left satisfied that humans were developing at an appropriate, non-threatening pace. What those inspectors never saw were the massive shipyards hidden throughout Earth's solar system. They never detected the mining operations in the asteroid belt or the quantum research facilities buried beneath Europa's ice. Most importantly, they never discovered the 7 battle fleets Earth had constructed. Suk and Jun pushed off from the hull and floated through an airlock into the Hanbit's command center. Screens showed the status of Earth's hidden military might. Green lights indicated readiness across the fleet. "The 7th Fleet is combat-ready," Suk reported formally. 30 capital ships and support vessels, all fully operational. Jun nodded with satisfaction. "That completes our defensive perimeter. 7 fleets, positioned to respond to any threat within 24 hours. A young lieutenant approached with a datapad. "Sir," Ambassador Hana's report from the Council. "They've dismissed our evidence about the Thran attacks." Again. Jun took the pad, his face darkening as he read. For 5 years, Earth had been providing the Council with intelligence about the growing Thran threat. For 5 years, the Council had ignored them. "They think we're making it up," Jun said in disbelief. 15 colonies have gone dark, and they still refuse to see the pattern. On the Central Council world of Axeloria, Ambassador Hana stood before the full Council assembly. 5 years of diplomatic service had earned her little respect. The massive chamber, filled with representatives from hundreds of species, buzzed with dismissive conversation as she presented Earth's latest findings. "The attack pattern indicates a systematic campaign," Hana explained, pointing to a star map. Each targeted world had minimal defenses and valuable resources. Classical Thran strategy. High Minister Vrex, now promoted to Security Council Chair, waved a dismissive tentacle. "The humans are attempting to increase their importance," he scoffed to appreciative laughter. "These disappearing colonies are likely internal matters, perhaps piracy or natural disasters." "Minister Vrex," Hana said firmly, "Earth has deployed long-range probes throughout our sector. We have recorded evidence of Thran vessels." "Impossible," a reptilian council member hissed. The Victhran were eradicated 2 centuries ago. Everyone knows this. Evidence can be manufactured, another delegate called out, especially by species seeking to gain prominence beyond their station. Hannah maintained her composure, though inside she seethed. Earth had been warning the Council for years, and they still refused to listen. 3 weeks later, the first major Council world fell to the Victhran. The planet Nemerix, home to nearly 7 billion citizens, was overrun in a single day. Its defense fleet, once considered among the strongest in the Council, was destroyed in hours. Emergency signals flooded Council communication channels. Terrified messages described warships unlike anything seen in generations. By the end of the week, 3 more worlds had fallen. In an emergency session, the Council chamber was no longer filled with dismissive laughter. Fear permeated the air as delegates from endangered worlds shouted over each other. How could this happen? Demanded the Thoraxian ambassador. Where did they come from? Our intelligence suggested they were extinct, cried another. In her assigned seat at the back of the chamber, Hannah watched silently. Earth had warned them. Now it was too late. Security Chair Vrex struggled to maintain order. The Council Defense Force is mobilizing, he announced. All available ships are being recalled to protect core worlds. What about the outer sectors? Called out a delegate whose homeworld lay in the path of the Victhran advance. Vrex hesitated, his tentacles twisting uncomfortably. We must make strategic decisions. The Council cannot defend every world. The meaning was clear. Outer worlds would be sacrificed to protect the core. An emergency vote was called. Hannah watched as the Council voted overwhelmingly to abandon all outer territories, including Earth's sector, to protect their central worlds. No help would be coming. Ambassador Hannah. Vrex addressed her directly for the first time in years. We regret that Earth's sector falls outside our defensive perimeter. Your species is young. Perhaps you could evacuate your colonies to Earth while there is still time. Hannah nodded solemnly. We will do what we must, Minister. As she left the chamber, Hannah activated her secure communicator. Admiral, it's time. The Council has abandoned us as expected. On the bridge of the Hambit, Jum received the message. Order received. Operation Thunderbolt is authorized. Throughout the solar system, hidden shipyards hummed with activity. Stealth fields dropped as Earth's fleets moved into position. The massive dreadnought Hambit led the first fleet toward the edge of Earth's system. Fleet Commander Sook stood at June's side, watching as hundreds of ships assembled in formation. They never believed us, she said quietly. Now they'll see what Earth can really do. The Council underestimated 2 things, Jun replied. The Victhran threat and humanity's response to it. He turned to his communications officer. Send the order to all fleets. Engage the enemy. As Earth's hidden armada headed toward the advancing Victhran forces, Jun knew the galaxy was about to change forever. The Council's underestimation of Earth would soon come to an end. Lieutenant Minji watched the red dots moving across her screen. The Victhran invasion fleet was massive, over 300 warships approaching Earth in a perfect attack formation. They clearly expected no resistance. Victhran fleet approaching Earth system. ETA 6 hours, she reported, looking up at Admiral June. The command center of Earth's hidden base beneath the lunar surface hummed with quiet activity. No one showed fear. They had trained for this day. Admiral June studied the display, his face calm. Inform Ambassador Hannah it's time, he ordered. Across the solar system, hidden fleets waited in position. The first fleet hovered behind Mars, powered down to avoid detection. The second fleet lurked in Jupiter's shadow. 3 more fleets waited in deep space, their advanced stealth fields making them invisible to even the most sophisticated scanners. On the Galactic Council's central world, Ambassador Hannah hurried through the crowded halls. Panic had spread through the Council as news of the Victhran advance reached them. 20 worlds had fallen already. Now the enemy was heading for Earth. The emergency session was already underway when Hana entered the chamber. The usual formal procedures had been abandoned as frightened delegates shouted over each other. "Order! We must have order!" The council speaker's amplified voice finally quieted the room. The tall insectoid being turned as Hana approached the speaking platform. "The representative from Earth is recognized." Hana stepped forward, her face showing carefully measured concern. "Honored Council, I come with urgent news. A Victhran attack fleet is approaching the Earth system. We request immediate assistance." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some delegates looked genuinely sad. Most simply looked relieved that the attack was targeting Earth and not their worlds. "Impossible," declared the council speaker. "Our remaining fleets are defending critical worlds. We have no ships to spare for an outer sector." Hana nodded as if she had expected this answer. "I understand," she replied calmly. "Then, with the council's permission, Earth will defend itself." Confusion spread across alien faces. According to council records, Earth had only 5 small ships, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Against hundreds of Thran warships, such a defense was suicide. "Permission granted," the speaker said dismissively. "Though we mourn the loss of your species." A few delegates looked embarrassed at this blunt statement, but most nodded in agreement. Earth was doomed. "I request that the council observation feed be kept active," Hana added, "to record what happens for historical purposes." The speaker agreed. Why not? The destruction of a minor species might provide valuable tactical information about Victhran attack patterns. 6 hours later, the council chamber had grown crowded. More delegates had arrived to watch Earth's last stand. The main screen showed the Victhran fleet entering Earth's solar system, a massive swarm of sharp-angled ships, their black hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. "Those poor humans," whispered a delegate. "They have no chance." The Victhran ships moved past the outer planets with confidence, ignoring the seemingly empty space around them. They approached Mars, the red planet hanging silently against the blackness of space. Then everything changed. From behind Mars emerged dozens of ships, sleek, gleaming vessels that moved with incredible speed. Earth's first fleet, led by the dreadnought Hambit, advanced in perfect formation. "What is this?" gasped Security Chair Vrex, his tentacles twisting in confusion. Before anyone could answer, more ships appeared. From Jupiter's shadow, the second fleet moved into view. Larger than the first, it contained massive carriers and heavy battleships. And then, in the seemingly empty space between the planets, stealth fields deactivated. 3 more fleets materialized out of nowhere, surrounding the Victhran forces. "By the eternal stars," whispered a council elder, his scales pale with shock. "What are we witnessing?" The Earth fleets moved with coordinated precision. The council chamber fell completely silent as the observation feed showed the human vessels, hundreds of them, far more advanced than anything Earth should possess. On the command deck of the Hambit, Admiral June gave the order. "All fleets, engage the enemy. Show them the full might of Earth." The battle began. Earth's ships fired weapons the Council had never seen before: quantum disruptors, gravity pulse cannons, and molecular disassemblers. The Victhran ships, despite their fearsome reputation, found themselves outmatched. In the council chamber, delegates watched in stunned disbelief. Earth, primitive, newly spacefaring Earth, was defeating the most dangerous enemy the galaxy had faced in centuries. "Impossible," muttered Vrex. "Their technology. It's beyond anything we possess." Ambassador Hana stood quietly at the back of the chamber, watching the reactions. The plan had worked perfectly. For decades, Earth had hidden its true capabilities, knowing that showing strength too early would have made them a target of the very council they now defended. On the main screen, the battle continued. The Victhran fleet attempted to regroup, but Earth's forces had them surrounded. The Hambit led a direct assault on the enemy command ship, its quantum cannons cutting through the alien vessel's shields like they didn't exist. "They're using controlled singularity weapons," gasped a council scientist. That technology was theoretical. Even our best minds couldn't develop it. 2 hours into the battle, the outcome was clear. The mighty Vkithran fleet was being systematically destroyed. Earth ships moved with impossible speed, their defensive shields easily absorbing enemy fire. Security Chair Vrex approached Ambassador Hannah, his earlier condescension replaced by shocked respect. "How?" he asked simply. "How did Earth hide this from us?" Hannah smiled slightly. "We didn't hide anything. You simply chose not to see. Every time we warned you about the Vkithran, you dismissed us. Every time we offered technological cooperation, you assigned us to meaningless projects. On screen, the final Vkithran ships attempted to flee. Earth's Fifth Fleet cut off their escape route, capturing several vessels intact. The council speaker approached, still visibly stunned. "Ambassador Hannah, the council requests an immediate explanation. Your world possesses technology far beyond what you disclose. Your military power exceeds many senior council members." "Yes," Hannah agreed simply. "And now that power has saved you from the Vkithran, perhaps now you'll listen when Earth speaks." As the observation feed showed the end of the battle, with Earth ships standing victorious among the wreckage of the Vkithran fleet, the balance of power in the galaxy had clearly shifted. The human revelation had stunned the Council, and this was just the beginning. Debris from destroyed Vkithran warships drifted through space around Earth. The battle had been decisive and quick. Admiral Jun gazed at the tactical display, showing the remaining enemy ships in full retreat. "Pursue and capture when possible," he ordered. "We need prisoners for intelligence." The bridge crew of the Handbit worked with quiet efficiency. No one celebrated yet. This was only the beginning. "Sir," his communications officer called, "we're receiving transmissions from the Galactic Council. They're requesting to speak with Earth leadership immediately." Jun allowed himself a small smile. "Tell them Ambassador Hannah will address their concerns. Now, prepare for Phase 2. He turned to the main tactical display. "All ships, execute Operation Sunrise." Throughout Council space, something remarkable began to happen. On worlds thought uninhabited, hidden Earth outposts suddenly activated. In nebula where sensors couldn't penetrate, stealth fields dropped to reveal fully equipped battle stations. From behind gas giants and within dense asteroid fields, Earth ships emerged by the dozens. For 20 years, Earth had been secretly establishing a military presence throughout the galaxy, waiting for this moment. In the council chamber, the emergency session had been running for hours. Delegates who had once dismissed Earth now watched in shock as screens showed Earth vessels appearing throughout council space. Ambassador Hannah stood calmly before them. Gone was any pretense of deference. "As you can see," she said, gesturing to the displays, "Earth has been preparing for the Vkithran threat for decades. We now have forces positioned to liberate all occupied worlds." "This is a violation of Council law," shouted Security Chair Vrex, his tentacles waving in agitation. "No member world is permitted to establish military bases without approval." Hannah's expression hardened. "Earth kept these capabilities secret because of historical precedent. Our historians studied your archives thoroughly. Previous emerging species with advanced technology were systematically sabotaged by established powers." She activated a display showing historical records. The Durrani, who developed quantum computing, their research stations mysteriously destroyed. The Krell, whose propulsion systems exceeded Council standards, their scientists died in accidents. The pattern is clear. Murmurs spread through the chamber as younger delegates looked at their elders with new suspicion. "That was the old council," the speaker protested. "Before my time." "Perhaps," Hannah conceded, "but the policy remained. Earth chose to protect itself by appearing weaker than we are. Now that deception serves a greater purpose, saving the galaxy from the Vkithran." On a dozen screens, Earth ships engaged Vkithran forces across Council space. The council members watched as Earth's advanced technology made short work of the enemy that had so easily defeated their own fleets. "How did you develop such weapons?" asked a scientific delegate, her compound eyes fixed on a display showing Earth ships using gravity manipulation to tear apart Ficthran vessels. "We've had faster-than-light travel for over 90 years," Hannah revealed, causing gasps throughout the chamber. "Earth united in secret after detecting alien signals. We developed in isolation, knowing the galaxy was filled with both wonders and dangers." Far from the council chamber, Commander Sook led the assault on Centauri Prime, a major world that had fallen to the Thran 3 weeks earlier. Her battle group of 15 ships approached the occupied planet, facing a defensive force 3 times their size. "All ships deploy quantum disruptors," she ordered. "Target their command centers only. Minimal collateral damage." Earth ships released thousands of small drones that quickly surrounded the Thran vessels. The drones created a quantum field that rendered the enemy ships' weapons useless. On the ground, Earth Special Forces had already infiltrated the main detention centers where council representatives were being held. The rescue operation was swift and precise. Hours later, as freed prisoners boarded Earth transport ships, a senior council representative approached Sook. "I don't understand," the reptilian delegate said. "Your technology. It's centuries beyond what Earth should possess." Sook checked the status of her ships on her wrist display. "We've been preparing for this moment since we detected their scout ships 20 years ago," she explained, "long before official first contact." "But why hide your capabilities from the council?" the delegate asked. "Would you have welcomed us as equals if you knew our true strength?" Sook countered. "Or would you have seen us as a threat to be contained?" The delegate had no answer. Back on Earth, Admiral June coordinated the counteroffensive from a command center beneath the lunar surface. Holographic displays showed Earth forces liberating world after world from Thran control. "Sir, our ships have reached the Thran supply bases in the Orion sector," reported Lieutenant Minji. "Resistance is heavier than expected." "Deploy the 8th Fleet from Proxima Station," June ordered. "It's time to show them everything we have." The 8th Fleet was Earth's newest and most advanced battle group. Ships with experimental drives that could bend space itself, weapons that could target specific molecular structures, disabling enemy ships without destroying them. In the council chamber, delegates watched the displays with a mixture of awe and fear. Earth ships moved with impossible coordination, sharing tactical data faster than thought itself. "They have artificial intelligence," whispered one delegate to another. "True AI, not the limited systems we use." Ambassador Hannah heard the comment and nodded. "Earth developed true artificial intelligence 60 years ago. It helps coordinate our defense networks, but remains under human control." The council banned such research, Vrex pointed out, his voice lacking its usual confidence. "The council banned many things that might have prepared you for the Thran," Hannah replied. "Earth chose a different path." On a main display, Commander Sook's forces had secured Centauri Prime and were moving to the next target. Earth ships launched from hidden bases throughout council space, converging on Thran positions. "We request formal permission to operate in all council territory," Hannah said, addressing the speaker directly. "Earth will lead this counteroffensive, but we welcome any council forces that wish to join us." The speaker looked around the chamber. No one objected. Earth had become the galaxy's only hope. "Permission granted," the speaker said formally. "The council places its trust in Earth's forces." As the words were spoken, Hannah knew the galaxy would never be the same. Earth had revealed its true power, and now the real work began, not just defeating the Thran, but creating a new and more equal relationship with the galactic community. The counteroffensive continued, with Earth ships pushing deeper into enemy territory. For the first time in centuries, the Thran were retreating, and behind Earth's advancing fleets, a new galactic order was beginning to form. The massive Thran command ship hung in space, surrounded by Earth vessels. Inside its dark command chamber, the Thran Supreme Commander walked slowly toward the waiting humans. His gray skin was marked with the red symbols of his rank, and his 4 yellow eyes blinked rapidly in the bright lights humans preferred. The war had lasted just 6 weeks. What the Thran had planned as a 3-year conquest had ended in their complete defeat. Admiral June stood tall in his formal black uniform. Beside him, Ambassador Hannah wore the simple gray diplomatic attire she had worn since first entering council chambers years ago. "The terms are fair," Jum said as the Thran leader examined the surrender document on a data tablet. "Your people will keep their homeworld and 3 colony systems. All other conquered territories will be returned to the council or their original owners." The Thran commander's claw-like hand signed the document. Then he looked up at the humans with genuine confusion. "How?" the defeated commander asked. "Your world was supposed to be primitive. Our intelligence showed you had barely achieved space travel." Hannah smiled. "We learned long ago to hide our strengths. Your spies saw what we wanted them to see." Later that day, Earth ships escorted the remaining Thran fleet back to their home systems. The greatest threat the galaxy had faced in centuries had been defeated by its youngest known spacefaring species. On the Galactic Council's central world, the Grand Chamber had been rebuilt after a Thran attack had damaged part of it. The new design was circular, with all seats at the same level, a physical representation of the changes to come. Ambassador Hannah stood at the center of the chamber. Behind her, a display showed historical records dating back centuries. "Before we discuss the new Galactic Charter," Hannah said, her voice carrying to all corners of the room, "Earth must present evidence of why such changes are necessary." The display showed incident after incident, promising species whose research stations mysteriously exploded, whose scientists died in accidents, whose worlds were denied resources needed for advancement. For 300 years, the Council maintained power by ensuring no new species could rise to challenge it. Hannah explained. Earth concealed its true development, specifically to break this cycle. Many of the older delegates looked away in shame. Some of the younger ones appeared shocked to learn of their predecessors' actions. "We propose a new galactic charter," Hannah continued, "one based on equality rather than age or military might. All members will have equal voting rights. Technology will be shared openly. No species will be relegated to poor sectors simply because they are newcomers." The Council, humbled by Earth's rescue and confronted with evidence of their predecessors' crimes, had little choice but to agree. One by one, representatives from hundreds of worlds voted to approve the new charter. The Galactic Council was dissolved. In its place, the Galactic Alliance was born. Far above the planet, Admiral June and Commander Suk watched from the observation deck of the Hambit. The massive ship hung in orbit alongside vessels from dozens of other worlds, former council members now working with Earth to rebuild. "Everything we worked for," Jones said quietly. "All the years of secrecy, the hidden fleets, the technologies we developed in isolation. It was worth it." Suk nodded, but her expression remained serious. "They're calling us heroes now, but I see the fear in their eyes when they think we're not looking." "Do you think they'll ever trust us?" June asked. She shook her head. "Probably not. But they'll respect us. And for humanity's safety, that's more important." Below them, the ceremony concluding the formation of the Alliance was being broadcast across the galaxy. The new charter guaranteed rights for all member species. It established open sharing of technological advances. Most importantly, it created a defensive pact that would prevent another Thran-type threat from ever arising again. "There's something I've always wondered," Suk said, turning to June. "Why did we wait? We could have revealed ourselves years ago, taken control of the Council by force if necessary." June smiled. "Because that would have made us no better than those we replaced. Earth needed to be seen as saviors, not conquerors." On the planet below, Ambassador Hannah completed the signing ceremony. As the new Alliance flag was raised, a simple design showing a spiral galaxy with all stars shining equally bright, cheers filled the chamber. Over the next month, Earth ships took up peacekeeping positions throughout Alliance space. The locations once hidden from the Council now became official Earth bases, helping to ensure the safety of all worlds. On a small garden world that had been among the first liberated from Thran control, Hannah walked with the planet's leader through fields being replanted after the occupation. "My people still don't understand," the leader said. "How did Earth develop so quickly? Even with secrecy, the technology you possess should have taken centuries to develop." Hannah looked up at the sky, where Earth ships patrolled alongside vessels from other Alliance worlds. "Unity," she said simply. "When humans detected our first alien signals 90 years ago, we put aside our differences. We united as a planet before we met the galaxy." "And your deception?" the leader asked. "Pretending to be primitive when you were anything but." "We studied the Council's history," Hannah explained. "We saw how they treated advanced newcomers as threats. So we appeared harmless while preparing for whatever might come." As evening fell, Admiral June and Commander Suk watched a sunset from the bridge of the Hanbit. Their ship was leading a joint patrol with vessels from 5 former Council worlds, a symbolic mission to show the new cooperation. "What happens now?" Suk asked, with no more secrets to keep. "Now comes the hard part," Jun replied. "Earning the trust we need. Building a galaxy where strength doesn't mean domination." As Earth's hidden fleets took up peacekeeping positions throughout Alliance space, the galaxy entered a new era, one where the youngest species had become its most powerful guardian. Humanity had revealed itself at last, changing the course of galactic history forever. And in the distant reaches of space, beyond the known borders of the Alliance, unknown eyes watched with interest. The galaxy was changing, and Earth stood at the center of that change. What would these humans do with their newfound power? Only time would tell. The end.